Imagine living a life where you're constantly avoiding things. You hate being outside in the cold, so you stay bundled up even when it's 70 degrees. A small paper cut makes you wince, so you wear gloves while doing dishes. And whenever you face a challenge or take a risk, your first thought is always, what if I fail? If this sounds like you, then you're not alone. Most people spend their whole lives running away from discomfort. They escape to Netflix when they're bored, eat junk food when they could cook, and comfort themselves with meaningless relationships. But there's a problem with this approach to life. When you try to hide from the things that make you feel uncomfortable, you're also hiding from the things that make life worth living. You see, real happiness doesn't come from comfort. It comes from growth, and that means you have to learn how to deal with discomfort. You might be thinking, but why? Why do I need to learn this? Can't I just stay comfortable forever? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you want to live a life full of potential or a life full of regret? Because here's the truth. Avoiding the things that make us feel uncomfortable doesn't make them go away. It only makes them grow inside of us until we can't run away from them anymore. Eventually, that fear of public speaking will turn into crippling anxiety. That fear of failure will turn into self, and that fear of commitment will turn into loneliness. Sooner or later, you're going to have to face the things you've been avoiding anyway. Might as well start now. So how do we learn to deal with discomfort? By getting comfortable with it. Here's what I mean. There are two ways to look at discomfort. 1, as a threat, or 2, as an opportunity. For example, let's say you want to start a business but you're afraid of what people will think. You could try to escape that feeling by burying yourself in work or eating junk food, or watching TV, or you could realize that this fear is actually an opportunity to grow and learn. Think about it. What's the worst that could happen? People laugh at you. So what? You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. That's what resilience is, and that's what makes winners different from everyone else. They don't try to escape from discomfort. They jump into it head first and learn how to thrive in it. Let me tell you a story about a man named Alex. Alex was an average guy who worked a 9-to-5 job and spent his weekends binge-watching shows. He always felt like he was wasting his potential, but he didn't know how to change that. One day he read a book about stoicism and it changed everything. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about learning how to deal with whatever life throws at you. After reading the book, Alex started taking small steps out of his comfort zone. He started meditating in the morning, journaling his thoughts, and setting small goals for himself. At first it was uncomfortable. He felt weird meditating instead of watching TV. He felt awkward writing about his feelings, and he felt scared setting goals and then realizing how far he had to go to achieve them. But he kept pushing himself, and as he did, he started feeling a sense of calm and confidence he had never felt before. He was still nervous around girls, but now he saw it as an opportunity to practice his flirting skills. He was still broke, but now he saw it as a chance to become financially free. He was still unhealthy, but now he saw it as a challenge to become the strongest version of himself. Alex realized that discomfort wasn't something to escape from. It was something to grow from, and that's when his life truly began. But how do we adopt this mindset? How do we turn our pain into power? By telling ourselves stories. Our brains are constantly trying to make sense of the world around us, and we do that by creating stories. We tell ourselves stories about who we are, why we do what we do, and what the future holds. These stories shape our beliefs, and our beliefs determine our actions. If you tell yourself a story where you're a loser who can't do anything right, then that's the story you'll live out. But if you tell yourself a story where you're a winner who can overcome any obstacle, then that's the story you'll live out. For example, let's say you want to lose weight. You can either tell yourself a story where you're overweight and unhealthy and miserable, or you can tell yourself a story where you're strong and fit and full of energy. Which story do you think will help you achieve your goal? Of course, the second one. But here's the best part. We can rewrite these stories at any time. We are not stuck with the story we were told as children or the story society wants us to believe. We can choose to write a new story for ourselves. We can choose to become the protagonist in our own lives. And this is how we escape the comfort zone. By choosing a story where we face challenges and grow as a person. So what kind of story should you choose? One that helps you grow. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, will this help me grow, or will it keep me the same? If it helps you grow, then embrace it. If it doesn't, then let it go. Also, don't be afraid to fail. Failure is just another excuse to practice facing discomfort. And the more you practice, the better you get at it. Soon, instead of feeling threatened by discomfort, you'll feel excited by it. You'll see it as a chance to prove yourself wrong. And that's when you know you've truly escaped the comfort zone. In the end, it's up to you. Will you continue to live a life of regret, hiding from the things that scare you? Or will you choose a life full of potential, even if it means facing your fears head on? Whatever you choose is up to you. But remember this, the path less traveled always leads to more growth. So take a deep breath, face your fear, and take that first step. It might be uncomfortable, but that means it's working. It means you're growing. And that's what life is all about. Some of you may be thinking, yeah, sure, this advice works for some people, but not for others. What about them? And I hear you. Sometimes life circumstances make it difficult to push through. Maybe you're dealing with physical health issues or emotional trauma or financial struggles. Trust me, I've been there too. But here's what I've learned from those tough times. It's okay to feel sorry for yourself, to cry, to be angry, but don't stay there. Use that anger as fuel to take small steps forward. Don't focus on how much you have to do. Focus on how much you've already done. And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to friends, family, or professionals. Take it one day at a time and one step at a time. It's hard, but it's possible. So now it's your turn. What uncomfortable thing are you going to try today? Are you going to face your fear or let it consume you? Are you going to tell yourself a story of growth or a story of comfort? The choice is yours. But don't wait too long. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. So take action now, even if it's just a small step. As you move forward, you'll gain momentum. You'll gain confidence. And you'll start to see that discomfort isn't something to be feared. It's something to be embraced. If you enjoyed this video, check out the video on screen for more motivation to level up in life.